Hi friends, thanks again for joining us on our another streaming safari. Now today we had to change things up a little bit because it is really windy outside. But before we get started, I just wanted to say once again thank you. And please, if you have the opportunity to make a few donations, we really would appreciate it. Even just a few dollars here and there is a big help. We still do not have any income at this time, so those small donations that you've been making have really been helpful. Thank you so much for continuing to support us. We really do mean that from the bottom of your heart. Another great way to support us is through our Amazon Smiles account. If you log on to Amazon Smiles, you can go and choose the nonprofit of your choice, and every purchase you make, we get a little bit part of that. So you can continue just doing your regular online shopping, and it does support us as well. So let's go ahead and focus behind me. Pretty nice girls. Now we will be talking about manes later on today, but only one lion has the mane, and it's a boy lion. Girl lions do not have them. These are lionesses. And you can see that John over here is feeding them to Chili and Pepper. Pepper is the one right up next to him. Chili is the one closer to the window here. Now they do have some longer fur, especially right down here in front with Pepper. You can go and see that nice long chest here, and check out that little mohawk she's got going on there. Super adorable. And so a lot of people ask, are they young male lions? No, they are both females, but they are senior females. So this is actually what's called a pseudo-mane, and it's a really fun thing that happens when little old lady lions get older. Their hair on the chest starts to grow out a little bit. It kind of happens to humans too. I hate to say it. So as the testosterone, as the estrogen in our bodies naturally declines over age, the testosterone that's already present will start to show through with that extra hair growth. So lionesses show that into that chest hair, and you get a little bit up on the top there. Chili's just starting to get a little bit there. Now, manes are very important for lions. But the females don't need them again. Females are the ones who are doing the hunting. Male lions have these big manes right down here in the front. I'll show you a picture of one right here. And that's because it helps when they are fighting with each other. So right here, when males start to fight with each other, that's when those manes come into play. Females live in a group very socially. It's only one male per group. Does anyone out there know what a group of lions is called? Shout it out if you know the answer. If not, I'll give you a hint. It starts with P and rhymes with ride. Alright, shout it out if you know it. I know you guys do. So males will do that because they have the manes for the fighting. Females are the ones doing the hunting. They have chores just like we do. Males stay behind and they protect the cubs and the land, their territory. The females go out and do the hunting. Those big manes would not allow a female to hide very well. So that's why the girls don't have any. They want to get low into the grass. They want to stay as small and as sleek as possible, because when it comes to hunting, you don't want to give yourself away and not be an easier way to hunt. You want to be as easy as possible. Sure, looks like we got a question.
We do. How much food do they eat? I think you probably can talk about the lions at our facility and maybe in the wild.
So in our facility, they have to have a pretty monitored diet. These guys will eat anywhere for the females, about 5 to 8 pounds a day, and for the males, 8 to 12 pounds a day, usually equaling about 10 pounds on average. Now, that is a very controlled diet because lions like to sleep a lot, 18 to 20 hours a day. So not a lot of metabolism up there, not a lot of exercise. So while they can eat a lot more in the day, you want to make sure they have a nice simple diet. Kind of like us being home at quarantine all day long. That sound familiar to anybody out there? I know it does for me. Out in their natural environment, it's usually about once a week. They're only successful hunting about 20 to 25% of the time. So that kill that they make will have to go and last them usually about a week. They can consume 30 to 50 pounds in a sitting, but that's going to have to last them a long time. So that's why we have to monitor that out. Yes.
All right, 2 more questions. How big is an average female and male? And how long do lions live? Great questions, guys.
Great questions. So I'll answer the second one first. On average, in human care, lions live to be about 15 to 20 years old. In their natural environment, it's a lot harder. So you see averages of about 8 to 12 years total. Now here, these females here are a little bit larger than what we'd see for some of the ones out in Africa today. So these girls here, this is Chili. She's right around the 320 mark. Pepper here is closer to 340 because Pepper needs a diet, but we don't tell her that. And males are going to be closer to the 500-pound range, so definitely a large difference between them. So they are dimorphic. That's a pretty fun word to say. I want you guys to practice that at home. They are dimorphic. And that means that they have differences between them. So males are a lot larger and have the manes, and the females are on the smaller side and no manes. And they are the only cat that is different between the males and females. All right, looks like we're just about finished over here, gang.
We got a couple more questions for you.
Sure thing.
All right, and I didn't hear this. I didn't hear the age range, but they asked, again, how old they can grow to be, how big are baby lions, females fight with each other, and how many lions we have on property.
All great questions. Now, before I answer this, gang, now's an excellent opportunity to go and get those craft supplies ready, because we're going to be moving over to that next. So remember, scissors, craft paper, paper plate, if you have it, will be really, really nice. But even if you just have regular plain white paper at home, you can absolutely follow at home. So feel free to go and grab those supplies, gang, and we're about ready to go finish up. So while you're grabbing those supplies, I'll answer those questions. Now again, lions in human care live to be about 15 to 20. Here are ranges from 5 to almost 21 years old, actually. Out in their natural environment, they don't live that long. You're typically seeing about 8 to 12 years old on average. Here we have 31 lions total, pretty much exactly divided between the middle of male and female. We have one more female than male here. And they are definitely different in sizes. Females are going to be around the 300 range, males are going to be around the 500 range, give or take 20 pounds either way. All right, gang, so now let's go ahead and move on to our craft supplies over here. We're going to do a fun craft today. Now we are going to be moving on to the main event. I have my lovely assistant over here. This is Zookeeper Melly, everyone, and she'll be following along with the crafts with us. So now, as we're looking at these samples here, which one do you think you want to make today? You want to make the paper plate? Okay. So here's our paper plate version. If you have a paper plate at home and crayons or pencils, now's an excellent opportunity to grab those out. I'm going to be making this one over here. I'm just using some craft paper. That's all I decided to do. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. I'm going to go there. Let's cook paint. The latest in spring fashion. So it doesn't matter if you're a boy, if you're a girl, doesn't matter. If you want to make a name, go ahead and do it. Now, here's some fun things with names. If you want to make yours a little bit more realistic, I'll show you that picture again. Lion manes are actually very black around the outside. Because the bigger and stronger the male, the more bigger and blacker the manes are. People don't realize that the lion's mane is black. So if you want to give it some nice depth, I recommend adding some nice black coloration in there as well. Alright, so the way we're going to start with this is I'll take my craft paper, fold your paper plate or your construction paper in half the long way. Here we go. I'm just going to grab a pencil real quick here. Now for the paper plate, all you have to do is really just follow the inside rim. It's already kind of naturally indented there, so just go ahead and cut or ask an adult to help cut that out for you. If you're doing the piece of paper, just go and make a little half circle. Nice long elliptical there. Here we go. And I'm going to go and cut that out. So we're just going to go and follow along there. You only have to do it on one side. Because your paper is folded in half, it'll make a nice long oval when you open it up. All right, now if you're doing the craft paper one, I recommend just taking your corners and just cutting off your corners, just to give it a nice circular look. Nothing too easy. All right, there you go. You have a nice circle shape at home that you guys can use. Now don't throw these strips out. You can actually go and use these. Remember, we want to go and use up as many things that we have at home already. So remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. If we can reuse these for something else, we're more than welcome to. Now, Ms. Melly over here, would you like to go and color on yours? Or I have the paper strips over here. Now gang, if you're using white paper at home, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to color it. And if you don't have the colors that you want, that's okay. Make your own lion. If you want to make a green and purple lion, go for it. I love to see it. Remember, when you're finished with your crafts, go ahead and drop a photo down below, and we'd love to go and check it out.
While you guys are coloring, do you want to answer additional questions?
Absolutely. I just want to go and point out one thing though. I have already pre-cut my strips, but an easy way to go and make strips for a lion mane, if you go and you fold your paper in half the short way, and you can go and cut it. And then you're just able to go and cut it 2 by 2, and you can make strips very easily that way. So I went and I pre-cut mine last night. This is where your glue comes in. So you guys are just gonna go and take the glue stick and take your strips. I recommend coloring them first. If you already started gluing them, don't worry about it. But if you're using white strips, color them first and then go ahead and glue them up. So while I'm doing this, why don't you go ahead and ask me some more great questions. You guys are coming up with some fantastic ones today.
All right, so a couple that from the back. I may not be able to go back as far, but we will go back and answer all of the questions in the comments. So if we don't get to you while we're on the live, we will definitely get back over to you. We had a couple of people asking how big the male's manes can get, how fast can lions run, and what other lion or animals do lions get along with?
So really, there's not much that a lion will get along with, except for actually some small birds. Most people think that the birds would be an easy meal for the lions, but lions actually need them to go and take care of the parasites around them. So you'll actually see small little birds hanging out on the lion. It's a symbiotic relationship. If you guys don't know what that word is, I recommend looking it up. It means that they're living together and they're both benefiting. The lion is getting taken care of the pesky fleas and flies picking at them, and the bird is getting a tasty meal. So you'll often see that. Other than that, there's not much that a lion really will get along with. Now, a lot of times you'll see lions hanging out near other animals. If they're not on the hunt, it is too hot in Africa for them to really care. They're really not going to go and pay much attention unless they're hungry and on the prowl, or if they already have made a kill and they don't want their food to be stolen by scavengers. All right. What was the other question?
How big the male's manes get?
Male's manes get. Now, that's actually a really important question because there are a couple different kinds of lions today, but only one that you're going to see in Africa. We primarily have Barbary lions here. Barbary lions were actually hunted to extinction around 1944, and they were declared extinct in the wild in 1961 officially. So you won't find them in Africa anymore today. You can only find them in zoos around the world. Their manes are a lot bigger and thicker. They go all the way down their bellies. So usually when we think of lions like in The Lion King, they're a little bit different. Barbary lions have these great big manes that can usually stick out. If they're nice and poofy, about more than a foot from their head, and they're going to go all the way down their back. This is actually what lion mane looks like. So when we get it in clumps and things like that when we're cleaning, and again, you can see that that has a lot of black in it. Remember, lion manes are black, and it's pretty thick. And you can see here that it can stretch out pretty far. And it's actually not as soft as people think it is. It's actually really, really rough to be able to offer more protection from those teeth.
And then we just had a question come in. They're just wondering why John is getting along and the lions are getting along with John so well. If you want to talk about that relationship.
So these guys here are really the only two lions that we still continue to work with in a way called full contact. Most of the lions we work with now are called protected contact. We do our training and our feeding with them from behind fencing. John here is still able to go and work with Chili and Pepper so well because they have been basically born and raised around John. He's always been a part of their family, so he's a member of their pride. And because these girls are so old, they don't have to worry about territory threats. They have a really nice, safe feeling in the world here today, so they have a nice, comfortable relationship with their place here and with John. So it's a really good age to work with them. Sometimes young males can be a little bit harder to work with, but females like this usually get along very, very well together. In fact, that was another question we had. Do females fight? Females can definitely get testy with one another, and there is a hierarchy often with females. Usually in a pride, it's a mother and her daughters. So the daughters have to go and respect moms. You'll see them kind of tiff with each other, but nothing too serious. If there's two males in a group, usually when one becomes seriously more dominant, then the younger one or the less dominant one can get kicked out. Any lions, any males born in a pride don't get to stay. They get kicked out when they're about 2 years old. So females are generally a lot more calm and secure in a group setting. Male lions definitely want to go and protect their territory a little bit more. Any other questions? I'm just about done with mine. I won't do anything too crazy here. I love it. Miss Melly over here has gone the way of being unique and bold and beautiful. So she's doing a bright pink and purple mane. I absolutely love it.
And then we got, do the lions play with toys?
Do the lions play with toys? Absolutely. In fact, keep following our Facebook page and you'll often go and see us posting about that. Our lions get what we call enrichment. Now, enrichment is kind of a fancy word for toys, but we can use it in a lot of different ways. Enrichment is a way to provide stimulation. So it's just like you guys right now. You guys need a lot more stimulation, a lot different stimulation than what you're used to. So being stuck inside, making sure that you guys stay nice and safe and healthy, it's a little bit different, but you guys are doing fun things. Your teachers are working with you differently. Your parents and your guardians are working with you differently. So all of that is really, really important.
All right.
So our lions get the exact same thing. Boxes, food items, different smells, all of those things still count.
All right, and 2 more questions for you. How often do we feed our animals on the day-to-day basis, and have we noticed any behavioral changes now that we don't have any visitors on property?
For the second one, no. The biggest thing that a lion is going to do is sleep. So these guys are really good at that, regardless of season, regardless of guests. They are really, really comfortable sleeping no matter what. So honestly, these guys have been really, really good, and we've been able to go and work with them a little bit more on a day-to-day basis to really go and strengthen our training and our bonding with them. So that might be some of the only things that we're seeing, is that we're able to spend a little bit more time every day focusing on training and getting some of those things done on a healthcare basis. It's been really fantastic for us, but the lions, they don't seem to notice it. So it's really, really great for everybody involved. But things like this, we miss you guys so much because I can't teach you guys about lions. This is actually something that you'd see here if we were open. So being able to still continue this, even though there's no guests, is a great way for Chili and Pepper to stay motivated. They're getting mental stimulation, they're getting physical stimulation. So this is another great way where we honestly don't want to change their behaviors too much. And of course, they're going to act like sisters.
Pepper wants all the attention, always.
And there's another question there, and I already forgot it.
How much do they eat? How often do they eat per day, and how often per week?
So we're going to go and feed them usually once a day. Once a week, they don't get any food because they're going to have to go and process that down. That's a normal response for lions because their metabolisms are so full. It's a good way to help make sure that they're processing everything and that they have good, healthy digestive systems. Other than that, we eat 6 days a week, and we usually only feed them once in the morning. We go and we have them separated into different areas so that we're able to go and still clean the exhibits just like normal, but the cats are separated so that we can really monitor how much each cat is eating. Because we want to make sure they are not overeating. That's going to be one of the biggest things for cats, is they can eat a lot, but they have really slow metabolism, so it's really easy to get chunky cats pretty fast. But the other thing is, how are they doing health-wise? By really monitoring how and what they're eating, it's a great indication for us to be able to monitor their health very, very individually every day. So that's why when we feed them in the morning, it's really a one-on-one with the keeper and the lion pretty much every day. Even on that 6th day, or that 7th day, I should say, where we aren't feeding, we're still going through and every cat is getting a full visual inspection, and we're still asking to look at their teeth and things like that. So even if we're not feeding, we're still taking that time to go and overlook all of their bodies. All right, guys, I'm going to go and show you my mane. I went and see how I took those corners. I said save them because we're going to use them. I decided to use them for my ears today. Pretty cool. I'm digging it, guys. All right, Miss Melly, do you want to go and show off your mane? I love it. Look at her. She decided to do pink. See? Go wild. All right. Now that's basically going to go and wrap up today's streaming safari. We've got another one coming up for you on Friday. Fridays is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be doing a live Q&A session with a keeper. So if you have questions on if you want to be a zookeeper, what's like being a zookeeper, all of those things, tune in on Friday at 11:30. And once again, folks, thank you for your support. We love all of the support and the messages that we're getting. We honestly couldn't do this without you. Every day has been absolutely amazing, and we do appreciate all the donations. We ask that if you have the opportunity to donate even just a few dollars, it really, really does help us. We have no income right now, so those few dollars that you might be able to give, again, we're not going out and not getting those cups of coffee every day. If you're able to go and maybe give us a little bit here and there, we would appreciate it. It really makes a huge impact. And again, don't forget about Amazon Smiles too. That's an easy way to continue doing your normal routine, and we're sure able to benefit from you guys. From all of us here at the Lion Habitat Ranch, I want to say thank you so much, and we'll see you later, guys. Bye!